Hey everybody, this review is on the 2005 comedy The 40-Year-Old Virgin. So the plot of this movie is this guy named Andy Stitzer, played by Steve Carell, is an employee at a electronics store, and he gets embarrassed when people laugh at him for being a virgin, because him and his coworkers were talking about their experiences with sex. Yeah, they actually did that. And afterwards, his friends team up to help him with his problem and try to get him dates so he could end up losing his virginity. And he ends up dating this lady named Trish, played by Catherine Keener, who runs this eBay store from across the street. Well, it's not like a really old store, like eBay wasn't a store or anything. It's like a store that where kind of like a donation center a little bit that takes items and then she sells them on eBay. That's how it works. And throughout the movie, Andy and Trish kind of form a relationship and they see how everything goes. This was a really enjoyable comedy. I actually really liked this movie. It's it's a really goofy movie, but at the same time, it's pretty down to earth. That's one thing I like about this movie. Like the main character Andy, like he could have been really annoying if he was in the wrong hands. Cause like the idea of like a middle-aged guy who's never had sex, like he could have been portrayed as a really obnoxious character. Like he could have been really nerdy and awkward, and the whole thing, his whole shtick would be like, "I'm so quirky," but no, he's written pretty well. They don't hammer in the fact that he's a virgin, and they don't like constantly. He's not the butt of jokes. He's actually portrayed as a really down to earth character, and I really like him for that. And that makes him more um, sympathetic. Like you actually feel sorry for him throughout the movie. Like you don't want him to feel embarrassed. You actually want him to, succeed in his goal of getting a girl. And that's the thing that makes this movie work. And his interactions with his two best friends, played by, well, he has three friends actually. One's played by Seth Rogen, one's played by Paul Rudd, and I don't know who the other guy was, but and their chemistry together is great. I mean, yeah, there are definitely a lot of goofy moments in this movie, like they have some goofy interactions with each other, and but that's not a bad thing because that's what you'd expect from a Judd Apatow film. Like it's a very goofy film, and that's what I like about it. And there's a lot of talent behind it, like Seth Rogen and Paul Rudd, and as I said, play two of Andy's friends, and they're both great. Every time they're on screen, I think they really steal the show, and I think they have a good relationship with Steve Carell's character. I think they all work together great, and Catherine Keener and Steve Carell, I think they actually work pretty well together. I think they're this, like I said before, this could have been like an annoying dynamic where like Steve Carell's like this really obnoxious nerdy guy, where Catherine Keener's the more down to earth one. But no, actually, you know, because Andy's like I said, like his character's not annoying. You actually want to root for him, and all the situations he gets into, like you kind of like it's funny, but you also want him to succeed. You want him to, have his goal of, getting a girl. And Elizabeth Banks was also in this movie. Yeah, the love of my life. And she's really funny in the movie. I actually really liked her. She plays uh this really horny girl named Beth who meets up with Andy, and afterwards they kind of have somewhat of a relationship, and she kind of acts a little goofy. She's kind of like what was her character's name? She's like Gloria from Wedding Crashers, except without the rape, and she's not half as creepy. But like she's great in the movie. And Elizabeth Banks, like I know I've said time and time again how much I love her, but like she's just so beautiful and she's just funny, and like this is the kind of movie that proves why I love her so much. Like she's never afraid to be such a goofball, and I love a girl with a sense of humor. That's all I could say. But and like the humor is definitely funny. Yeah, there's sex jokes, but like then again, it's a movie about a guy trying to lose his virginity. Of course, that's gonna be a thing. But like, it's not like Bucky Larson, where like it's just trying to be a gross out like every 5 seconds. Like, no, this is actually a quite a funny movie. Like the famous chest wax scene. Like, yeah, that scene had me dying. That's actually a really funny scene. It's not the fact that you see him sure. It's just Steve Carell's reactions. Like he actually looked like he was in pain, and I think he actually was because you can actually see the wax marks. Really committed, aren't you, Steve? But yeah, the movie, it's quite funny and it's very charming and it's a very, goofy film, what you'd expect from a Judd Apatow style comedy. And I think, like, if you like his style of comedy, you'll definitely like this kind of movie. It's very, very funny. It's very likable. It's just a feel good movie, and it gives you some laughs, and that's all you'd expect from a movie like this. And Steve Carell, like, I do really like him in a lot of stuff. I think he's a funny guy, and I think he definitely was suited for a movie like this. And if you like his style of comedy, then I think this is definitely the movie for you. Because if you really like his kind of awkward, goofy style of humor, I think this is definitely a must watch for you. It's definitely a really fun movie. I mean, it's not like a comedy classic or anything. I wouldn't go that far, but it's still a funny film, and I really enjoyed it, and I definitely think it's worth a watch. So that's my review of The 40-Year-Old Virgin. See you later.